I think I'm gonna go ahead and kick it off here so that way we can get through all of the exciting content we have today. Good on your end, Carol?
All good. Let's go.
All right, here we go. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Jess Pancich, and I lead the Edge product team here at Storable, where we've recently launched our new business intelligence product, the focus for today's webinar. As a bit of housekeeping, today's webinar is going to run for about 30 minutes. And since I am officially on the clock, I would ask that you please use the chat feature to share any thoughts and questions that you might have along the way. Any questions that I don't get answered in the Q&A session at the end, we'll follow up with answers after the webinar. I'd also like our time together today to be a bit interactive. So throughout the session, you'll see a few polls pop up. I strongly encourage and appreciate your participation in those polls. Next, we're going to take a look at what's on the agenda today. For the agenda, we're going to start with a quick overview of industry challenges to kind of set the context for the way that we're innovating in the market, particularly through business intelligence. Then we'll deep dive into our new product, Business Intelligence, and talk about how it adds value immediately and how you can leverage it to gain transparency and drive results for your business. Finally, I get to do a live demo of our Business Intelligence product, and then we'll wrap up with a brief Q&A session. All right, let's go ahead and get started. First, I'm going to touch on some of the market dynamics making business intelligence critical for success. There are four key market trends we see increasing the need for data-driven decisions in the self-storage industry. First, we have increased data-driven competition. Having the right business intelligence tool can help level the playing field for all operators. It gives operators who lack the large dedicated data and analytics teams the ability to compete with those that already use such resources to inform their profitability and growth and also gain that competitive advantage. Next, we want to talk about the increased market saturation and hyper-local competition. The increase in supply and the resulting hyper-local rate wars mean that every micro market demands precise and dynamic pricing to maintain those occupancy and revenue targets. Then there's financial pressures. Rapidly rising interest rates and increasing costs of capital have shifted focus from the simple growth to maximizing your net operating income and minimizing every possible loss. And last, we have the increased focus on the tenant experience. Modern tenants today expect a seamless digital experience. Retention is now a primary driver of profitability, requiring a deep understanding of your customer journey data. These market forces make having a business intelligence solution more critical than ever. And now we've arrived at our first poll question. So, as a reminder, I would really appreciate your participation. Here's question one. How would you rate the following challenges in your business on a scale of 1 to 4? 1 being not so challenging and 4 being the most challenging. Go ahead and key in your answers, and I'll give us a few moments for that. Oh, it's fun to see these answers feeding in. There we go. Awesome. Okay. All right. Look at all those answers we have in there. Perfect. It looks like, if I'm reading that properly, most of you answered that your most challenging aspect are the pressures that you face to maintain profitability due to a lot of the rising costs and rates. I think that is a perfect segue into some of the things that we can use business intelligence tool to help with. Okay, we'll get that poll closed out. Perfect. And next, I'm going to walk you through a deeper dive on business intelligence, both the challenges, the solutions, and what we're doing here to deliver to meet your business needs. Okay, so we've already established the rapid market pressures. Now we're going to talk about three core operational barriers that prevent effective decision making. These are hurdles that demand a foundational shift in how you are using your data. First challenge, reporting takes too much time. This often leaves your high value staff forced into manual data aggregations, consuming hours every single week that should be spent on sales or servicing tenants. Business intelligence automates the analysis, freeing your team to focus on more profit driving operations. The next challenge is understanding and actioning data slows the competitive edge. So the lag time between actually discovering a competitive threat or a revenue leak and taking action compromises your market position and costs you money. Business intelligence really accelerates that decision velocity by instantly providing the clear and actionable insights needed to allow you to react faster. And last, it's that reporting and BI tools require resources and a budget. Historically, obtaining sophisticated analysis tools is costly, and this creates an insight gap that hinders growth and scalability for most operators. Business intelligence standardizes your performance tracking and reporting, giving you the necessary framework to efficiently manage more assets and scale without all of the escalating costs. And next, I get to talk about what we've built. So, our new business intelligence product launched just a few weeks ago in Edge. You can now easily view your data in an intuitive dashboard. You can filter and drill into the details. You can export or schedule, send the views of data and reports to whoever needs access. And you can even customize the existing reports that we've provided or build dashboards from scratch. This truly puts the power of your data back in your hands, giving you better visibility into your business performance. There are free business intelligence reports that already exist in Edge and are available, as well as upgraded reports and customization options, which I'll cover in more detail on the next slide. So with our business intelligence solution, we're offering three different levels of value. First, we have the management reports. These are already included in Edge. This is really your foundational business health check. These reports provide high-value KPIs and trended data over time to quickly evaluate overall business performance across your portfolio or for a single store. Next, we have growth and performance reports that are an add-on. These reports move beyond the basic health checks and give you a more in-depth view of your promotions and revenue data. Most critically, they allow you to start measuring true customer lifetime value and identifying your most profitable tenants. And last, we have the report builder piece, which is also an add-on. Report Builder lets you truly customize the reports to meet your specific business needs. It uses an intuitive interface, all while eliminating the need for downloading and importing data into external systems for additional manipulation. So, the key to unlocking your business intelligence in Edge is SSO. To truly take advantage of this product, both the management reports that are included and the subscription add-ons, you need to first enable Storable's single sign-on, or SSO. This gives you the ability to use one login to sign into your entire Storable product portfolio. SSO also provides increased security by replacing weak passwords and inconsistent login practices with one strong, centrally managed master identity that's both easy to secure and to revoke. As a follow-up to the webinar, we'll provide a link to the Quick Start Guide for SSO that walks you through just how to activate for Edge. And now we have reached our second poll and final poll of the day. So the question for this one, what single operational challenge could having a business intelligence solution solve for you? And what would be your biggest relief? I'll go ahead and give you a few moments here to key in your answers. And thank you in advance for the participation. Okay. Looks like we've got some answers flying in here. And for the most part, our most popular answer at the moment is making quick and confident pricing and marketing decisions. Here we go. It's like you guys are leading me right into my demo. I really appreciate that. Perfect. Okay, now it's time for the main event, and we're going to jump right into a product demo. So bear with me for just a few moments while I actually jump into the driver's seat here and get us started. Okay, everyone should be seeing my screen now. And what we're looking at here is the management reports. So as you recall from my earlier conversation, the management reports are free with the business intelligence product, and they are available in Edge today. You'll notice across the top that the management report have some specific filters here that help you narrow down your selection. You have the ability to choose one or multiple facilities or even your entire portfolio, as well as some preset date filters here. Once you've set your filters, you're able to move through the report. As I mentioned earlier, the management reports, I like to say, are a close cousin to the management summary report that exists in Edge today. We're focusing on some of the key performance indicators that are near and dear to our operators' hearts. The first few reports we take a look at here are move-ins. Move-ins by total unit count, as well as percentage breakdown. Another really exciting feature of the business intelligence product is that it's interactive. So if there's ever a time where you want to drill into the underlying data, you simply click, which launches a new window and populates the underlying data behind the numbers. You're also able to download the raw data. You simply select the download and then choose the format that you desired. Okay, we're going to keep moving here. Another really exciting piece about this product is that we can now offer trended data across time. That's something that isn't available or exists in the existing Edge reporting suite today. And so we're really excited to bring trended data to our customer base. The management reports also look at occupancy, percentages across time, and then across your unit mix. We also look at revenue, both by dollars and percentages of your different revenue streams. Some trended revenue data. And then we also take a look at delinquency by your aging buckets, which matches the aging buckets that are already used in the existing Edge reporting to keep that streamlined, both by count of unit and percentage, and then trends over time as well. We have some insurance reports that take a look at your breakdown of units with covered by facility insurance or private insurance, and then your percentage breakdown there as well. And your percentage of revenue dedicated to each different insurance plan. Last but not least, we take a look at accounts receivable, again, mimicking the existing aging buckets that are already in current Edge reporting and your trend over time. Another really exciting piece of this solution, you've heard us talk about the customization option. So I want to give you a very simple example here so you can get your bearings. But let's say I want to look at monthly move-ins, but I don't really care about looking at them by lead source. I just want to see my count across the month. I can simply come into this dashboard and use the Explore feature here. That's going to open me to the builder or the customization page. I have all of the data elements below that comprise this look. And I simply need to remove the lead category and rerun the look. And it will remove that filter and then populate one holistic number, which is what I was really looking for in the beginning. I then have the option to save this look. I could save this to a brand new dashboard and fill it with other looks that I create on my own, or save it to an existing dashboard that I've already started. So this is just a really simple example of how you can customize reports or looks that we've already provided a baseline, or you can create net new content with all of the different data elements that we've loaded into the builder model for you already. It's a really, really exciting and fun part of the product. Next, I want to walk through our growth report. Our growth report is primarily focused on promotion and marketing efforts and showing you their impact on both occupancy and revenue. So if we take a look here, we look at your move-ins by promotions over time, and we start to mix that by both kind and source. We also go through revenue attributed to different promotions and show you that trending across time, and also your revenue by kind and source as well. And then down at the bottom, we start to get into the average length of stay of a tenant by promotion for both your active tenants and those that may have already moved out. Up at the top here, we have some of the same filters that we had before, but we add in a few different ones, giving you the ability to customize or narrow down the scope a little bit more on this particular report. And another fun feature I always like to showcase is the ability to schedule deliveries on these reports. So you could come in here and set a scheduled delivery, simply put in your recipient, decide your reoccurrence if you want it weekly on Monday mornings, select your format and save, and then you will receive that report on the cadence that you just selected. Last but not least, I want to walk through our performance report. So our performance report really starts to dive into the revenue data and a little bit more deeper dive and analysis work. So we take a look at revenue data trended across time, year over year, month over month, as well as starting to look at gross potential revenue and your economic occupancy, trying to identify where maybe you have room to increase to match your potential. Then we also take a look at revenue by your different streams, whether it's rental income or insurance income. And then we get down into some per square foot breakdowns. So looking at your revenue by available square foot over time, as well as your average rent rate per square foot on your paid versus your standard rate. And then last but not least, we get into the really nitty gritty and we start looking at square foot deltas between your rent rates versus your standard rates on a square footage and a total basis across time. Now, I know that that was a really brief and high level pass through all of this content. There truly is so much to learn, explore, and leverage through this tool. And I hope you've liked what you've seen thus far. Now we're going to kick it off and take a few minutes for Q&A. And I'm going to hand it back over to my colleague, Carol, who has been monitoring these questions coming in during the webinar.
Thank you, Jess. Hi, everybody. Not a lot of questions, which is surprising, but there have been a couple that have trickled in. First question for you.
Okay.
Will there be more reports added to the business intelligence offering in the future?
That's a good question. And the answer is yes. It was truly our goal, really, to start with the value that we've showed you thus far. But post-launch, we're continuing to gather customer feedback and really use those insights to evaluate what type of reports that we want to integrate into the suite next. We already have a few things that we're noodling on for the next batch.
Right. Okay. Next question and last question, potentially. We'll check the Q&A and see if we have any more after this. Are there any other enhancements coming to business intelligence in Edge?
Yes, that's also a good question. Yeah, there are some enhancements that we have planned. We keep iterating. We're going to continue to keep iterating on the capability here, and we're actually planning to add some AI enhancements in the future that will help our operators really get the deeper answers and insights from the reports that they're looking for. So leveraging AI and BI together in a perfect marriage, if you will.
Okay. Just looking at some other questions popping up. So one question coming through, how do I add this to my current reporting? You talked a little bit earlier about
Yes.
how people can access management reports is available in Edge. Maybe if you can just talk us through that for
Yeah, absolutely. So if you do not have single sign-on enabled for your account just yet, that's the first step. And a single sign-on isn't too complicated. Once you adopt single sign-on, there is a really quick step guide, I think maybe 3 or 4 steps of kind of teaching you how to configure your account to include the management insight reports if that's what you're looking for. And once you have that toggled on for your account and you log in with your single sign-on login, the management reports will be there for you in your existing Edge reporting suite. So just a few quick steps that you have to accomplish first, the SSO, and then the configuration of setting up who has access to the business intelligence. And once those two are done, you log in and it's already going to be there for you in your reporting suite.
There's one last question. I might be able to answer this,
Oh,
Jess.
okay.
With storable single sign-on, does every current user, management and facility level, have to convert to this or can just upper management? So with single sign-on, when you go to sign up, the admin, whoever's designated admin, has to be the one to activate it first. And then they can decide if they want to activate it for the rest of the organization. Now, again, we're going to send the quick start guide to single sign-on as a follow-up to the email with this recording. And so there'll be a lot more detail in there around permissions and how to kind of unlock permissions for different people in the organization. Okay. And I think with that, that concludes the webinar, everybody. Thank you
I'd
for
just
taking
like,
the time.
can I pop in one thing that I've
Yeah,
seen kind of sprinkle in here in some of the
do
questions?
it.
I just want to, yeah, riff a little bit and reiterate. So for this solution for business intelligence, right? There's a couple different options for you that we talked about before. First is all of those management reports. So that's the first thing I showed you, all of those high KPIs that I walked through, occupancy, revenue, um, move-ins, right? All of those different things, that is available to you. That is free content. You simply need to sign up for single sign-on and just enable your account for business intelligence. And then that will be yours to use and play around with. There are other pieces of it, like those more in-depth reports, like the growth report, the performance report, and then the ability to customize. Those are additional add-ons and subscription base. But that larger management report is free to start using as soon as you get set up with single sign-on.
Thank you, Jess.
Yeah,
Uh, thank you, everybody. We hope you enjoyed this Lunch and Learn, and we will see you at the next webinar. Have a great
awesome.
day.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful afternoon.